Today, I'll be taking around mobile device and application management with Sophos Security, Sophos Mobile Security, basically. I'm Ayodele Adewale, like Ife said, the cloud engineer, and I work with different solutions around Sophos, Microsoft solutions, that's AD, Office 365, file services, and Vim. So, like I said, today is around Sophos solution, that's Sophos mobile solution, which will help us manage which will show us how we can manage devices, application in our organization. So our agenda today is around first, we're talking about security concerns of organizations. So we'll see some of the concerns organizations have around security. We'll be discussing that in this session, and what is this solution? What is the overview of this solution? What does this solution do? We'll show you that, and how does it manage devices and manage application. That will be a third part of this session, and we'll show you what are the benefits you can derive from this solution. That's Sophos Mobile Security. And once that is done, we'll move down to the demo where you will see how things are being done, how policies are being configured, various settings, how to configure an Android profile, an iPhone profile, and how you can basically set up the Sophos Mobile in your Sophos Central environment or platform. So today there are a lot of issues, a lot of worries with organizations, how users in the organization access the company resource, talking about the mail, files, documents. So most of the issues are around malware attack, these threats, and how to manage these devices that are coming to access this particular resource in the organization. So with Sophos mobile solution security, you would see it as addressed about 4 of these solutions highlighted in this slide. So you see first, you see there before now you would see there was this burden where you have to go into different consoles and managing different platforms, different OS platforms. That's talking about the Mac, the Android, the Windows, and all. And with this, you will see this process is going to take a lot of time, and in turn, it will reduce productivity for the organization and the IT admin. So it will make the IT admin more effective in his job, and it will tell on the productivity of the organization um, on the productivity of the organization at large. So also you would see it addresses issues around malware. Like I said, organization have this worry that the device or the internet or various things that are using to access the organization resource, are they vulnerable to threats like malware, viruses, and all. So organizations tend to invest more in security because this information are key to them, these mail files, these documents are key to them. So they make sure that they invest heavily in this security part of the organization. And with Sophos mobile solution, you'll see it's very affordable, where with the configuration, with the settings made available in Sophos mobile, you'd see it's very affordable with compared to other solutions where you can do the same thing. That's basically managing devices and applications that are trying to access the company resource. And so if we look at the Sophos mobile security, you would see it's basically a cloud solution that helps the business, the organization to manage devices, like I said. So once you've signed up for this particular solution, so the IT admin does manages the solution based, maybe the device is corporate owned or personal owned device. So once you have that, the admin basically sets the profile on the Sophos Central, that's the mobile side part of the Sophos Central, and does the necessary configuration. So once it does that, you will see that it can have a centralized system where it can manage various mobile endpoints, talking about Windows 10, Mac OS, and other OS that are in the environment. And once this configuration has been done, you will see the management of all these devices is being effective. You see the device will be protected using either policies or some settings. And with these policies, this can determine what access this particular device can have in the organization resource. And with this, you can also determine if you want some apps to be installed on a corporate-owned device or the Sophos container that's been made available for your organization. That's when you ask for the bring your own device chart, that's the personal owned device. So you can see that you can determine what can happen at that container, what application can be installed, which application do you want to be removed, or which application you want to block from this particular container for users installing or downloading on this particular container. You can do that using the Sophos Mobile. We'll see this in the demo, and you'll see what the experience is like, and you would have a better view of what I'm saying. So with Sophos Mobile, you would see it basically it allows productivity, like I said. So because it's in a centralized location, so IT essentially have to sign out and in various consoles, and also in this particular console or in this particular page, you will see you can manage devices, you can set policies, you can determine which apps needs to be installed, what apps can be blocked, what are the compliance policies that can be configured. You can do that same on that same platform, and you see that with this, you see security is being added, where you can choose what security can be done. So you can prevent security malware attack with this particular data, because the system has been enrolled in the Sophos solution. You would see that once this device has been enrolled, you will see the security is made available, and threat would not be in these particular devices. And the simplicity, you see once you enter the Sophos Central, you see that the console or the platform is very simple, quite understanding, easy to use. So once you get here, you see that it's very easy to configure the policies, to manage devices, and even do some mini maintenance around devices. And you will see the various details you need. If you need the phone details, the OS, and everything, Sophos has made that available. All this information has made available to the IT admin, which in turn knows what are the different policies to apply. So it's also with Sophos Mobile, you would see there's a place where you can create groups. So for each department, so that's around simplicity also, where you have for maybe a IT department, the sales department, the finance department, you can create group and assign a lot of some policies to that particular group and do some necessary configuration. So once you push such policy or configuration down to the organization, it looks at the various settings that have been configured and determine where each user would be, or where each user would fall into. So that's how simple it's able to, we can configure it. So talking about the value is around, based on, like I said earlier, based on the configurations, based on the settings that have been made available to you by Sophos Mobile, you would see the budget is very friendly. It's quite affordable for organizations. So organizations don't need to worry about how much costing around Sophos Mobile. Is quite affordable for organizations. And I want organizations to leverage on this Sophos Mobile Security for their environment, managing their devices and their application at large. So what does this mobile security solution, what does it do in the environment for the organization? So you would see first it detects and remove malwares that in Windows Mobile and various OSs. So once there is a malware that's been maybe embedded in the file, SMS, emails, Sophos Mobile will then detect that file, that malware. Once it detects it, it has the ability to clean such malware or to remove it from the devices. So once that has been done, you can be rest assured that your users are safe, and there won't be infection, there won't be spread of malware around the organization, around the network. So also you would see a comprehensive solution or comprehensive protection has been made available in this solution to mobile devices and OSs at large. So this OS has a particular protection. That's a comprehensive protection that is pre-provided once it recognizes a malware. So once a malware has been recognized in your device or in the OS, you would see this solution, this particular protection has been made available, that once it sees it, it recognizes it. Once it recognizes it, it provides the necessary protection for that particular device and that particular OS. And you would see with the solution, like I said earlier, you can secure a corporate-owned device that the device organization has given to you, or your personal device that will bring your own device. And this device is cut across many OS. That's talking about the iOS, the Android, the Mac, the Chrome, and Windows OS. You can see that you can secure it using this particular solution. And lastly, we have this particular protection that's the genotype, behavioral genotype, that makes it unique for, that scans basic unique behavior. So basically how it works is it scans for, there are some particular behavior, some particular traits it scans for in your devices. So once it sees it in your devices, you see that it protects you from zero-day malware and also detects some new threats. So some new threats or some new risks that are coming, it's this particular protection, that's the behavioral genotype, will actually be able to see it right before it arrives and even stop it from being executed on your device or on your device basically. So for the mobile device and application management, you would see in Sophos Mobile, we can actually manage our devices and we can actually manage our applications. So for the device management, you would see you can, it basically allows you to manage the organization-owned device. So if there are some organizations that give you the device, so when they give you that device, they want to make sure they are able to manage that particular device that's been given to you. And some organizations that cannot afford it, or they don't have the strength or capability to give you that to give you a corporate-owned device, they can let you bring your own device into the environment to access the company resource. And while you are doing that, you can actually manage that particular device and also the applications that run on that particular device. You can actually manage it in a container that's been made available in Sophos. So I will show you that during the demo on how to manage these devices and how to manage the application. You see, so in managing the devices, it falls into three or two different parts. So for the Android, you would see there are various there are about two parts you can choose. That's the Android Enterprise or the device admin. So when you are enrolling the device, you can do it manually or you can do it automatically. So once you do it automatically, a mail is sent to that particular user. The user then follows the necessary instruction that's been sent in the email, scan the barcode, follow the necessary instruction, download some application, and you see once that is done, the device will now be managed. And once the device has been managed, you would see the admin will be notified that a particular device has been enrolled and all. And for the Apple device, that's the iPad, iPhone, Mac, and all, you would see for you to be able to achieve that, you need to use the Apple push notification, that's the APNs. You see, you need that so that it will trigger the device to be able to manage that particular device. So once that has been done, the APN has been pushed and everything, and the necessary configuration has been done by the user, you would see that the device will now be managed. You would see that the management, the IT admin will see that this particular device has been configured and is now being managed by the organization. So once these devices has been enrolled, basically, the admin can now push the various policies to the devices, policies around apps, around data accessibility, device restriction. Maybe you don't want them to take a screenshot, you want to take a screen capture, you don't want them to make a change in the Windows side of the device, that's maybe adjusting the date and time and many others. You can now push such policy to the device, and once that policy has been pushed, the device then gets the policy through the cloud. That's when it synchronizes with the Sophos Central. And once that has been done, you will see the policy takes effect, and you can now monitor the devices. So what is being done by the device and all. So the same way for mobile application management, you will see that you can basically protect, you can control business emails in this without intruding the user's privacy. You see, the MEM allows you to be able to manage applications, to protect and control business emails and business organization resource in
user's device. That basically is not the organization owned device, the personal owned device. So while you are doing that, it allows you, it ensures that you are not intruding into the user's privacy, because this can cause an issue in the environment and allow and can cause an issue in the environment, which user can raise an issue that his information is being leaked and everything. But Sophos has made sure this solution has been perfected, that information of this user remain private and while company resources are being protected. So that's how it works for this. You see, for you to be able to use this solution, you see your device OS must meet some specification. You will see for Android, you see you have to be 5 points or later, that's 5.6, 7 and all. And for the iOS, you would see from 11 and above, you can now use the solution. So if you are using less than 11 and all, you won't be able to use this solution. And for Windows 10, you would see you have to be on version 15.11 or later, so you can be on 1903, 1803 and all. You can use that solution if you're on that version. So if you are less than this version, you won't be able to use this particular solution. Same goes for Mac OS and Chrome OS. So if you are not on this specification, you won't be able to use this this particular solution. Is either you upgrade your device or you get another device that is of this that is within this range. So some benefits of Sophos Mobile, you'd see first, it's actually help to, like I said earlier, the general genotype protection makes it makes threats that are unknown blocked before before it causes any damage. So you'd see threats that are unknown to maybe a device or a new threat that is in the environment. So with the behavioral genotype protection that has been embedded in this solution, you see before this threat tries to cause any damage on the device or that of the user or the organization device, you see this particular protection would block that particular threat of that particular malware before it causes any damage on the device. So you would see with Sophos Mobile also, you would see that you can remove crucial threads or crucial data. You can remove malware from it. So when you have this solution, you see all this malware that can destroy confidential information, crucial data, vital information of the organization. You would see that it's able to detect it and remove such malware infection from that particular data, making it to be more safe and more protected in the organization. And you see you can actually protect the corporate owned device, the personal owned device. So it's not that with this solution, because the device is not for the organization, you can't protect it. No, Sophos has given you that platform where you can protect a device that is for the organization and also a device that is for the user that the user is using to access the company resource. So Sophos has made that available in this solution. And also you can create alerts. So this alert that is being created, you can create it around malware incidents. And once this malware incident has occurred in the environment or has occurred in a device, you would see a notification as it will be sent to the user, and not just the user, it will also be sent to the admin. So the admin would see that incident and work on this alert that has been generated by the solution. And once that is done, you know the next process or the next thing to do or next action to take after this malware incident has been sent to them. And you would see, like I said, the GUI is very easy, and with the GUI you can generate reports. So I'll show you how you can generate reports of updates, of policies, of devices that has been enrolled in the organizations and everything. You will be able to see that in this solution. So you see, like this solution is a centralized solution that has a lot of embedded packages, a lot of embedded settings and configuration you can leverage in managing your device. That's the company-owned device or the personal-owned device. So now I'll be moving to the demo to show you how this works. So you see, for you to access this solution, you would have to go through the Sophos Central. So you go to central.sophos.com. So once you launch that you input that in your browser, you would get this particular prompt to sign in. So once you sign in with your credentials, so let me sign in with my credential. You would see to request for the necessary, that's not done. Just a second. So you see, once you input your credential, you'll be landed on the Sophos Central admin page where you would see a lot of things that can be managed on this platform. So you would see under this, you can see a dashboard where you can see the various alerts that are made available. You will see where you can configure alerts, get logs, your users, and all. You can see where you can see a lot of products in Sophos that can be managed under the Central. And one of it is the mobile. You see, for the endpoints, with that, you can manage laptops, computers. Same go for server. With this server protection, you'll be able to manage your servers and all. And with mobile, which is our major discussion today, you would see how it's done. And encryption is around encrypting data, email gateways to protect or secure your email. And fish threat is basically for you to create a campaign around phishing and all. So let's go to mobile, which is our discussion for today. You would see we have various, it's divided into 4. We have the inform, the manage, the configure, and the settings. So you see, for the inform, you see it's like a dashboard where we can majorly add a widget. So you see here you can add, let's see, version, Android version. You would see you can get it. Let's add one more thing. Let's add something around manage status for Android. You would see. So depending on what info you need on your dashboard, you can choose from the widget and add it there. So you'll be able to have a visibility on what is being done or what reports you need. So for the reports, you would see you can generate reports around device inventory, device per user. So it's divided into 5 basically: devices, compliance, apps and documents, malware, and certificates. So depending on what you want, you can now generate a report, maybe on the CSV or Excel. So you have these 2 formats. You see, save as Microsoft Excel file or CSV file. You can choose from this. So let's go to setting up our profile. So like I said earlier, for the Android, you have to set your profile for basically your Android devices, and for iOS, you set up your profile for the iOS devices, and you can do the same for Microsoft and Windows basically. So you'd see, once you go down to settings, under settings, you see setup. You will see the various profile you can set up. So for Google, you would click on it. That's Android basically. You would see that you have the option to set up a profile. So you can't see the option here because I've created my profile. And with my profile, you would see, once your profile has been created, you would see the basic information. So you would need an Gmail account. So it's best advised that you create an organization Gmail, maybe namurata@gmail.com. Depending on the name of organization, you can create an organization account for your Android, and same thing for your app iOS also. So you can create the necessary configuration, and once you go through this process, you see it's basically a simple process and a very easy way to set up. So once the setup has been done, you would get your information here, and you can always confirm if the profile has been created through this side of the. So for our Apple setup, you would see you can create APNs where you can create the basic certificates that will enable you to create a profile and be able to enroll devices in your environment. So once that has been done, you now go back to devices. You now determine what you want to do. Do you want to add these devices manually, or you want to add it automatically? So let's go with the automatic enrollment of devices. So if I click on add devices, I can choose a user. So let's choose maybe Ash as a user in my environment. I click on it and then click next. So I can choose, if I know the name, the platform of the user, maybe that's maybe Android, iOS, and everything. I can choose for it. So if it's Android, I click Android. I put the necessary details. The email address is correct. Is it a corporate-owned device or a personal-owned device? You can do that, and you can choose from the device group. So we'll be looking at that later. You see that we have some device group that you can create, so it will help you tailor your policy to some set of individuals and all. So once that has been done, you click next. So you click your enrollment type. So in your enrollment type, you have various options of enrolling. That's around tax bundle with policy and all. So you would see that we have a tax bundle already created. And once that has been done, you would click next. So once you click next, you would see the various steps to follow. So you can actually send the instruction, this particular instruction that has been listed here, you can send it as a mail to this particular user. So by hit send, you would see a mail will be sent to the user. So you would see this, you would see the base step that we saw earlier. You would see it that has been listed. So basically, once you follow this step, there's a place you have to scan the URL code. So this URL code will be scanned, and this will help you or to aid your device enrollment your device enrollment basically. So for the device group, you would see you can create a device group based on the device, based on what you have in your organization. So very quickly, let's create a device group and name it iOS device group. So once we create that, you can give it a description, and you can choose if it's you want iOS auto enrollment or no. So once that has been done, you save it, and once that once you've saved it, you can come to apps, go to apps. As the Android apps, we have the iOS too, where you can create apps. You can add apps from the Play Store or the App Store that's been basically the profile you've actually created or you've configured. Yeah. So once you've done that, you come to Android. You come to Open Manage Google Play Store. So once you go to Google Play Store, you will see the various apps you can push or you can make available to your users in your environment. So you can make available, let's say, Dropbox. I want to make Dropbox available in my environment. I would click approve and approve it. So once that is done, you click done. Once that is done, you now retrieve the app from the list. You click this retrieve app list from Google, so that it will remain available like other apps that are here. Same thing go for the iOS. So once that has been done, you can now create your policy. So there are policies you can create around Windows and Mac and Android too. So you see, before now we have two policies, but let me just show you how to quickly create a policy. So depending on what policy you want to create, is it enterprise device or enterprise work profile policy you want to create. So depending on what you want, you can choose it. Let me choose that. Give it a name, Android and profile. Then I can choose from the various restrictions, I can choose what I want in my environment. So there are a lot of restrictions you can choose from around that, around voice encryption, allow resets, allow screen capture, SMS, and also you can choose from the list made available to you. So let's go back and see other configurations you can add. So you see the other configurations you can add. You can add that's under basic configuration, additional configuration, and certificate. So if you click the password policy, you will see you can choose how you want the password to be. Is it pattern, pin, or password? You want alphanumeric? You want the complex, a pin or password? You can choose from the various options made available. And you see for Wi-Fi, you can create a particular Wi-Fi and give the necessary security type, and or you can do that in this policy, and you can create the necessary policy that you need in your environment. Same goes for iOS, same goes for Windows. If you see for Windows, let's go to Windows. You can create for your Windows 10 devices. So if you want to manage your Windows 10 devices, that's the corporate owned devices, you can give it a name, Windows policy. You can see add configuration. So you can choose from the various configuration made available. So let's choose the restriction. So from the restriction, you can choose from what you can do. You can forbid SD card. So if you forbid SD card, if someone puts an SD card in the device won't see that particular card, and you see you can forbid camera, disable date and time. So user can change the date and time settings in their devices, and you can actually do a language change and all. So once that has been achieved, you can go down to various that's around disabling Cortana and all. So once you do that, you choose the various configurations or various settings you want. You can now apply that particular setting, and once that has been done, you save it. And once you are done creating your policy, you can now go to tax bundle. So tax bundle basically is where you can arrange various tags, but can have various tags bundled together and then push to a user device. So basically, it's maybe now I want to let's go to Android. Let's see how it works. I want to do a tax bundle for Android where I want it to enroll the device. So once it's done enrolling the device, it can it should send the necessary policy. That's the necessary policy that has been configured. It should push it to that particular device, and once that is done, it should now manage the device basically, or install application or uninstall application. You will see. Let's quickly give this a name. Let's give Android tax. So let's see what we can add. The various tags we can choose enroll. So are we enrolling just the work profile or the full device? We want to enroll just the work profile. We click next. So we can choose from the policy that has been created here. So you can choose from policies. That's policy we created. I showed you how to create policy. So you can choose from policy. I'm going with this first one, and I click finish. So once I do that, you would see I can now go back, add under tags, install manage app. So I can choose applications that I want it to install. I can choose from and all. So once I choose it, I click apply, and then you would see once I save it. Once I'm done, I will then save it. So once I'm done saving, then I can go to a device, drop down. You would see this particular device we just added has not been managed and is not compliant yet. So if I go down, I edit, you would see policies, you see device properties, you can see the compliance violations, you can see tags and all. So you would see that this particular device has not been enrolled, it is not yet managed, and also you can now push this particular device to be enrolled, and also you would see how to do that. And another thing again is self-service portal. So with the self-service portal, you would see where you can have users in a group do the enrollment by themselves. And while you are doing that, you can actually create term of use for this particular set of users, and also a post-enrollment configuration test. You can do that for the users in that group. So let's create. Let's start with the term of use. So if you click the enrollment text, you would see add. See, before now I have that already configured. That's the term of use and the post enrollment. So if you add it, you would see term of use. You put the write-up here, you put it, and everything, you give it a name. So once you do that, give it a name, you would save it. And same thing for the post enrollment. So you can give it a name, post enrollment and all, then you give it a name. So once that has been done, you can now come here, go back to create a self-service portal configuration. So once you click the create service portal configuration, you can now give it a name. So let's say sales group. Let me add a group, SCP test group. Okay, apply. Then I can choose number. Okay, I'm leaving this as default. So once I can now choose actions to take. So you would see there are a lot of actions you can take in this for this device once it has been enrolled. If it breach any compliance policy that has been violates any compliance policy that has been configured. So you can unenroll device, you can lock device, you can wipe the device in a situation where there's a stolen device and all. You can do that, or wipe Android work profile, depending on what you want to achieve. You can choose that, and you click add. So once you click add, you click the Android, depending on the platform you want to do, iOS, Android, Windows, and all. So I'm going with Android. I will give it a display name. Let me give it a display name, Android sales group. So once that has been done, I can give a description. If it's corporate owned or personal owned, I can determine. So it's personal. So what device group will this device fall into? So I can determine, is it the Android device group, or so I'm going with the Android device group. So I can choose my term of use. So if I had more than one term of use, maybe I have sales term of use, IT term of use, the finance term of use, so I can choose from it. But at the moment we have one, and I can choose the post enrollment text. So I can choose that. Once that is done, I apply. Okay, I'm not choosing the enrollment package. So here you choose the tax bundle. So you see earlier we created the tax bundle, the Android tax, and we had one earlier, the Android tax bundle. So you choose it and you apply. So once that has been done, you would see that the user will now have this. Let me save it. Just push to the user. So let's go back to apps. Apps. So we have Dropbox being made available in the list. So let me show you how these actually work on the device. So just give me a second. So let me just a second. So you'd see, so this is my device. So this is a user device in sales, and where the email has been sent to the user. The user has done the necessary installation, that's the Sophos Mobile and all. You would see that for my own device, you see we have a container already made available. You see beneath it, you will see the personal and the work. So once I click the work, you would see the applications that are made available in my environment. So you see for these two, I had set it for it to install automatically for this user. So if I want to see other applications in my environment or that is made available by the admin for me, I click on the Play Store. And once I click on Play Store, you would see all the applications listed earlier in the list. You would see it made available here. So I can actually click on it. And once I click on it, you see I have the chance to install it. So that's how basically it works. So you would see if I want it to install automatically, I can now go to the Sophos Central and push the application. So there are some applications for some department you would see that are required for some department. So if for instance Slack is required in this for the sales group, I can now install this. Click install. Once I click install, I can choose the device or select a device group. So I can choose a device group. So anyone I want, I can choose from it. And once that has been done, let's see. See, before now we don't have Dropbox installed. It was just on the App Store. So let's push it to this user. Let's click next. Now, so we want that. So you can choose if you want it now or a specific time. So if you maybe from next week is when you want the application to be made available to user, you can set it. So see here, you can choose maybe 21st, put a time and then you click on it. But for this we are going to choose now because we want the assignment to be done immediately. So once that has been done, you can come to tasks and view the progress, the status of that particular solution or that particular app that has been pushed. So you would see, let's go quickly to policies. You would see for Windows, we have been configured, and for that policy, you would see we have disable date and type settings. So we have a Windows 10 machine that has been enrolled already in our environment, and we'll see how it looks like in seeing that. So let's go to the Windows 10 machine. So you see the Windows 10 machine. We're in the Windows 10 machine, it's been enrolled already. And once you go down, you come to the task bar below around the NIC. You would see a place where you have the time and date. So if you right click and you click on adjust date and time, you would see that particular feature has been graded at, and you would see a notification has been made available, will be displayed. You will see some of these settings are hidden or managed by the organization. So this is based on the policy that has been done in the environment. So you see with this, you can manage your, not just your mobile devices as the Android or iOS, you can also manage your Windows devices in the environment. So let's go back quickly to the policy. Let's see our attacks. So attacks has been successful, and now we want to show you if it's been available to users. So let's go back. Let's close this index. So Sorry. So you would see once that has been done, we go back, we go to our work. You would see that this job box has been made available. So before now, we didn't have it here. We just had the WhatsApp, we had the quick support, we had the control and all. So if a major policy has been sent to a user and the policy is not being applied immediately, you can come to the Sophos control here, you click on this, and you would see a place where you can manage information. And once you click the management information, you would see the device will be synced already. And once that sync has been done, you would see that apps or policy that has been sent to the device would be made available. So that will bring me to the end of this webinar. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Over to you, Ife.
All right, thank you very much, Ayodele. It was such an insightful session. I mean, there was a lot to learn, and I'm sure that there's several of us that will be getting back to the recorded session so as to go over the things that were shared. I mean, they were really, really valuable. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the insightful time. And then we'll be moving to the Q&A section, so in case there are anyone here who probably has a question or two to want to ask. So you can go ahead to ask your question now, while I also check the chat window to see if any question was being posted there. And as I'm doing that now, there are no questions here yet, but then if you have any questions, you can please begin to ask your questions now. How are we saying Ayodele is such a wonderful teacher? I mean, just a question or two from anyone. And also, let's not forget to fill up the evaluation form. It's been posted on the group now, so you can just fill up the evaluation form to let us know about your experience of the webinar. Okay, I think there's a question now being asked by Olamide Isaac Duro Dollar. But there's a question, it says that, is it possible to do this from a far distance? Mr. Ayodele, is it possible to do this from a far distance?
Okay, yeah, it's possible. So basically, the solution is a cloud solution. So it's done in the cloud, and basically, it's just internet. So once this device has been, is now managed by your, in this Sophos Central, that's in the environment. Once policy is being done, it does that through the cloud, and basically the device receive the policy via internet once this has been done. So from anywhere, if the user is in Abuja, the IT admin is in Lagos, once policy has been pushed from Lagos and the device is synchronized to the Sophos mobile, the policy will be sent via the cloud, and then that will be made available.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Thank you very much, Adele. I want to believe he's been able to do justice to the question, Mr. Olamide. I would want to believe that. And so if there are any other questions, I would like to take them now. Okay. So if there are any other questions, any other questions from anyone? Still have some few minutes to take your questions. Okay, seeing that there are no questions any longer, I would just like to thank everyone for joining us for today's Tech Talk webinar. And you can as well visit our YouTube channel, to go over previous series that we've had in the past, and also to revisit the one we just had today, because then we'll still be sharing them. Okay, there's a question now that is being asked on the window, on the chat window here. Okay, yeah, you're asking about the webinar, right? Of course, you can access the webinar through our YouTube channel. The link will be shared to the chat window right about now. You can access the YouTube webinar through our YouTube channel, Ha-Shem Limited. And of course, you're going to have access to all of our past, webinars we've had on tech series, and it's really, really going to be a wonderful session for you. I can assure you of that. And I'd like to thank everybody once more for joining us for this session. I mean, it was a wonderful time with Ayodele. I mean, inciting us and giving us techniques and letting us see how that we should ensure compliance and data security across company or organization devices, and seeing, and we are learning all of these things. We are getting to see how important it is to ensure compliance, to manage our data, to ensure that everything is secure. And it's been very, very nice session. And so please remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, and also be aware that the recorded session will be shared on the YouTube platform, so you can visit there another time from now to have access to that platform. So thank you very much for the time once again, and till next Tuesday, which would be 2 weeks from now, and we'll be having another tech series webinar. All right, thank you very much, and let's have a lovely evening.